All right, let's bring in Daryl. Daryl's Owen, if you want to tell everybody, please.
Always brought to you by Scheiben Jewelers, Cleveland's premier jewelry store.
Thank you very much, Owen. Here's Daryl. Hello, Daryl.
Hello, boys.
Shedeur Sanders going to start the season at quarterback for the Browns in 2026.
If he plays well these next 4 weeks,
Come on, answer the question right now, yes or no?
I can't answer the question.
Answer the question. Answer the
not
question.
Enough information.
Answer the question.
We need more data points.
Yes
the Browns
or
front
no?
office would say.
Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Do it.
Sure, why not?
Come on, that's not still an answer, but the hell with it. Fine, Tone, take it away.
All right, Daryl, obviously, this is a great opportunity now for all the sabotaging that was allegedly done. I mean, Shedeur Sanders has a legit shot to make this an easier decision for the Browns, despite the 2 first-round picks, to not go after a quarterback. So how well does he seriously need to play here down the stretch against playoff teams, but some defenses that are vulnerable?
Well, I think if he continues to show the growth that we've seen these last couple of weeks, it will make the decision much more difficult. And honestly, I'm in the camp of that's really what I'm hoping for, that he is able to play well enough to get a shot in 2026, and they use those first-round picks on things they need really bad. They need receiver help. They got to rebuild the entire offensive line potentially next year. So I'm hoping that they're able to use those picks on those spots. Okay, maybe you draft another quarterback in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round, whatever again, but hopefully Shedeur gets a shot in 26. And here's the other part of that coin. If he doesn't do it, right, if he doesn't play well in 26 and he doesn't show you that he can do this at the level that you expect or you need him to, well, you know where you're going to be in the standings, and you'll be in position to be able to use your first-round pick on one of these top quarterbacks that are supposedly going to be coming out in the 27 draft.
Daryl, do you think that he will compete with Deshaun Watson?
I don't think so. I don't know that right now the Browns are in a hurry to play Deshaun. I think that obviously Deshaun's going to be on the roster next year. He's going to still be the elephant in the room. They've got to keep him, I think we talked about earlier in the week, they have to keep him until March of 2027 for salary cap management purposes so that they can cut in half the 2027 salary cap hit and kick that other half into 2028. Then he'll officially be off the books completely after the 2028 season. But that is not from a, hey, the Browns really, truly are looking at Deshaun Watson to play football for them. It's all about cap management at this point to get out of that fully guaranteed contract.
Daryl, how do you think Shedeur handles the sub-zero conditions at Soldier Field on Sunday?
Well, he played at Colorado, so he's used to playing in lousy weather.
Like this? As cold as this?
Look, he played well last week in the snow.
He did.
4 touchdowns, pretty good. And look, I don't think either one of these teams are going to play very well offensively in the snow. I'm not exactly expecting an offensive shootout between them because the bitter cold changes things, but and I certainly am not going to be looking at this as a referendum on Shedeur Sanders. I know every game that he plays, everybody's going to be looking at it as a referendum of whether or not he's going to make it in the NFL, whether or not he's going to start for the Browns next year, whether or not he should, even though they said he's going to start the rest of the season, whether or not he should start the rest of the season. I'm not, because of the forecast being what it is, I'm not approaching this weekend like this is the referendum on whether or not Shedeur Sanders can do it. Just want to.
Are you turning off evaluations then this weekend?
No, I'm not turning off evaluations. Look, I mean, I certainly don't want to see him go out there and throw 4 interceptions. Chicago's got a great defense that turns the ball over. They've got 18 interceptions. They lead the NFL with a plus 17 turnover ratio. So he's got to make smart decisions out there. Of course, Ken. I'm not saying that I'm just going to be dismissive if he goes out there
spicy.
And be completely. No,
listen, that bass in your voice talking to me there, Daryl. I like that. Keep it going.
No,
on,
I'm just saying. I'm not turning off evaluations as you put it. If he's careless with the ball, that's going to be used against him, and you've got to be careful against Chicago with the ball. But the thing that I like most about him right now is that some of the things that we were pointing out in the second half of the Ravens game, and even his first official start against the Raiders, he's like making corrections, just like we've talked about the Jerry Jeudy situation and the correction that he made there. The fact that he acknowledged the interception, that was a dumb mistake on his part. He shouldn't have thrown that ball. He was trying to light a spark. He took a chance. It blew up in his face. He learned from that situation. We've seen where he'd take a sack and it would kick him out of field goal range. Well, he's learning not to take those sacks and throw the ball away and live to fight another down and things like so. The growth that we're seeing from him and learning from the mistakes, that's what has me so excited about him. And hopefully on Sunday he takes care of the ball, doesn't get careless with it, this Browns offense is still able to move the ball in the bitter cold.
Well, one of the things they're going to have to do to certainly help out Shedeur is get that running game going, and it's been really, really tough sledding for their rookie running back Quinshon Judkins over the last month. Have they alluded to what they think the issue is in the running game? Is it as simple as the offensive line and the fact that guys are getting to Judkins before the line of scrimmage, or is he making any mistakes?
I think that's a big part of it is the fact that the offensive line is in shambles, but that is on the list of things to ask Tommy Rees today when we talk to him to get his thoughts on what might be going wrong with that run game. But there's no question they're struggling. Earlier, Judkins was leading the NFL in yards after contact. He was running through tackles. That's not happening as much as we saw earlier in the season. Is that part of just the proverbial rookie wall that we hear so much about? Is it just the fact that the offensive line is the mess that it is due to injuries and guys not being available? You lost Ethan Posick now for the season, and so Luke Whippler's going to be in there, and he'll have an opportunity. Speaking of auditioning for jobs, he'll be auditioning for a job next year, because really none of the starters are signed for 2026. So, and they're going to, and you're right, Anthony, they're going to need the run game on Sunday. They're going to have to be able to run the ball at Soldier Field if they're going to come out of there with a win, because it's just, the conditions are not going to be ripe for Shedeur Sanders to be asked to throw the football 40 to 50 times.
Is this an attractive job if Kevin Stefanski is let go?
Which for Kevin, for the head coaching,
head coaching position.
I was going to say the front office job, it's a little more challenging just because of the cap situation. Head coach, I think so. You've got a solid defense to work with, and then offensively, if they go the offensive route to replace Kevin, at least going into the job, you have an opportunity, have a significant impact on rebuilding that offense, because let's be honest about it, Ken, that's what needs to happen. The offense needs to be rebuilt from a personnel standpoint, so you would think that the new head coach would have some influence over the personnel that would be acquired.
All right.
I was going to ask another question.
Go ahead. Ask your follow-up.
Don't worry about it. Go ahead.
What was it? Now I'm curious to see what your follow-up was.
The attractive job if Kevin was let go. Do you think Kevin wants to be here?
Yeah, I think he wants to be here. I'm sure he's probably frustrated.
Why do I keep seeing possibilities about other jobs then?
Well, and that's the thing. This is the time of year where people go shopping, and they throw the lines out there. We've had stories about Tommy Rees. We've had stories about Kevin Stefanski, and that's not an accident. And for the duration of time that he has been here, things have been pretty buttoned up. And so the fact that we're seeing those stories out there is certainly attention-grabbing. I will grant you that, Ken. I do believe, though, there is a little level of frustration. I don't believe that he and the front office are as tied to the hip as they used to be.
How could you be?
Just because I think the Joe Flacco trade was a major fracture point. I think that, and I have said this, and this is my opinion, my own personal belief, I don't think that Kevin Stefanski gets the autonomy that want. I think that because this is the way the Cleveland Browns have always been run, but we don't know because, well, they never tell us who's actually accountable for anything in that building. And so they have all this plausible deniability, and we're always asking, who's responsible for this? Who made that decision? Well, we're not going to tell you. And so we're left with is speculation. But I don't think that he gets to make every decision that gets to be made, even though he gets up there in front of us and says that he's the one that made those decisions.
Okay, go right on ahead now, Tone.
Do we think that, now knowing what we know, where it certainly looks like not only was Shedeur Sanders readier than a lot of people thought, me included, is there a world where he should have started week 1 for this team?
I wouldn't go that far, but I do feel like, and the reason I say no, Anthony, just because he got no reps in training camp. Now, if you want to talk about should they have done this differently, should they have given him more offseason reps, hindsight 2020, absolutely. Look, they wasted our time with Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett, plain and simple.
Yeah, there were 4 guys there.
Yeah, they did, and there were times in training camp where he literally was throwing footballs to the ball boys because they ran out of wide receivers in the drill. So, hindsight being 2020, they should have gotten him prepared to play much faster than they did.
Where else would you want to be a ball boy in the NFL but right here, right now? That's amazing.
Hey, do you know what? Those guys would be able to tell stories to their kids and grandkids about how they caught passes during training camp from Shedeur Sanders.
Hell yes. Yes. That'd be amazing. All right, you got anything more for Daryl? Daryl, if we all went out to dinner over at Lima's house, do you think we would leave hungry?
No.
Why?
Because I kind of feel like the Limas can put a feast on the table.
I think they cook good food. I just don't think they're going to cook enough of it. Oh,
well, you're invited, right?
What are you trying to say?
Oh, I'm not trying to say it. I was just asking a question.
Are you trying to say I'm fat?
You're the one saying that you're afraid they wouldn't cook enough food, not me.
I don't think they would. They eat like birds. I was just saying. I mean, if you want to call me fat, just call me fat, Daryl.
No.
Just say you're fat, Ken. Just say it.
I would not do that.
Say it.
Although earlier this week, I love the unboxing videos, and I just hope that they're sending you the right size to wear.
So you know what? That's even meaner than just calling me fat, Daryl. Thank you very much for the time.
You know I love you, brother.
I love you too, Daryl. You take care.
You guys have a great weekend.
You as well. Daryl Ruiter, Owen.
Oh, he's brought to you by Shedeur Jewelers, Cleveland's premier jewelry store.